Had Miz and Morrison versus the Major Brothers for the tag team titles. They actually had a 1980s inset of the Major Brothers cutting a promo, which was so wacky, but you got to do that sort of thing, so I can't fault them for that. And Morrison and Miz, money team. I may be the only one in the world. I don't care. Those guys are awesome.
Before this match, they showed...
Hey, hold on a second.
I'm sorry,
I got to say
done.
something now that I'm on that rant. Notice that I prefaced that by saying I may be the only one in the world.
Whatever could have spawned this thought?
This whole stupid argument about Shelton Benjamin. Two people.
Indeed, yes.
Two people on the board were offended that I said that nobody gives a fuck about Shelton Benjamin. Totally not even...
Like that, his facial expressions, his selling... In
the world, I don't care. Major Brothers...
opponent to be able to use the full Nelson proper.
Maybe the wacky, but you got to do that sort of thing.
Like that, his facial expressions, his selling, he is awesome.
Ted McNair's great.
A great, great man.
Then we had Miz and Morrison versus the Major Brothers for the tag team titles. They actually had a 1980s inset of the Major Brothers cutting a promo, which was so wacky, but you got to do that sort of thing, so I can't fault them for that. And Morrison and Miz, money team. I may be the only one in the world. I don't care. Those guys are awesome.
Before this match, they showed...
Hey, hold on a second.
I'm sorry,
I got to say
done.
something now that I'm on that rant. Notice that I prefaced that by saying I may be the only one in the world.
Whatever could have spawned this thought?
This whole stupid argument about Shelton Benjamin. Two people.
Indeed, yes.
Two people on the board were offended that I said that nobody gives a fuck about Shelton Benjamin. Totally not even... I don't even understand how you could get upset about the statement that I made. When I say nobody gives a fuck about Shelton Benjamin, I don't mean 0 human beings on the planet Earth.
Nor do you mean Shelton Benjamin sucks.
I'm talking about in the grand scale of the universe. Nobody gives a fuck about Shelton Benjamin. Yes, Stevie J gives a fuck about Shelton Benjamin. In
Samuel.
the grand scheme of the universe, that's nobody! God, that whole thing made me so angry.
That was a threat of great retardity.
Listen, I'm telling you right now that I think that Miz and John Morrison are an awesome team. I realize I'm in the majority.
You mean the minority?
The minority. I realize that in the grand scheme of the wrestling universe, no one else likes his team. How is that hard to understand what I'm trying to fucking say here? And this has nothing to do with whether Shelton Benjamin is any good. This has nothing to do with why nobody cares about him, to steal a phrase from myself. This only has to do with the fact that nobody cares. I don't care why. Everybody knows why nobody cares. There's 1,000 reasons for it. But the fact of the matter is, nobody fucking cares about Shelton Benjamin.
Do you feel better?
I feel a little bit better. I just can't believe that thread. It baffles me.
I read every post and every page, and
Am I missing something?
I made a conscious decision. I will not lower myself to partake in this discussion.
This isn't about me being right or wrong.
No.
Which is the other funny thing.
This is about...
It's about a fact. Okay? I am not wrong by saying that nobody cares about Shelton Benjamin because you can find one person...
You are knocking my notes off the table in your fury.
When there's 6 billion people on the earth, and you can find 2 people on the board at figure4online.com, that's not proving me wrong. There's nothing to prove wrong about this. I am simply stating a fact.
Okay. So I'll read them a little easier. Hey, I'm with you. I agree.
I need to get Stevie J on the show and actually try and explain this to him.
You can have it in
because
verbal debate.
The reason this thread is 8 pages long is because nobody is listening to what anybody else is saying. That's the entire problem. If Stevie J actually understood what I was saying, there is no argument. There is no argument. Yes, there are people that give a fuck about Shelton Benjamin. But when I say nobody gives a fuck about Shelton Benjamin, as it regards all of the wrestling fans on this planet, all the viewers watching Raw, no one cares. Nobody cares.
So when you say no one, you're just rounding up.
Yes!
There you go.
I'm not being literal when I say no one. When I say everybody loves The Rock, I'm sure I can find a person or two, or maybe 100 that doesn't like The Rock. That does not make the statement incorrect. Unless you want to be that anal about it, and that absolutely specific about it, then fine. Then fine. When I say nobody gives a fuck about Shelton Benjamin, I'm wrong. There are a couple people that do.
A correct statement would be nobody cares about Shelton Benjamin except Stevie J and Samuel.
That's all I found so far on the website.
Yes.
If there are more of you, feel free to send me emails. Okay? Shelton Benjamin's a good wrestler.
Very talented athlete.
I do think he's not quite as underrated as people think he is, but still, he's a good wrestler. He's had great matches. He's got a lot of potential, but right now, nobody cares about him, and that is a fact. That's all I'm trying to say.
Let me put it this way. Suppose you had two guys watching ECW. One guy left the room for a minute, and the other guy stayed there watching the show, and Shelton Benjamin came out. Do you think the guy went, "Holy shit! Bill, get in here! Shelton Benjamin's on ECW"? No. Nobody said this.
But you know what? Maybe one person did somewhere.
Yes. Had, for example, Steve Austin showed up, perhaps then he would say, "Holy shit, Austin's on ECW." Nobody reacted. No one called their friends to make sure they were watching ECW when Shelton Benjamin walked out.
Yes.
That's all you're trying to say.
That's all I'm trying to say.